Naptown, the city that always sleeps. Most people think nothing happens in this town that is halfway between nothing and nowhere, but they would be wrong. There's plenty that goes on in this town for those willing to look. The crew now knows who the leader of the Tree Gang is, and it is someone that Tanner has a history with. Will his insider information of this person help them plan to take him down, or is only another distraction in the city that always sleeps?
Alright, where we last left off, you guys had been given the name of Herman Rosette, who is the leader of the gang that you guys are trying to stop, or...
Known as the Tree Gang by us.
I'm sorry, what?
Known as the Tree Gang by us.
By you guys exclusively.
Right.
If it makes you feel better, I didn't come up with a name for him until, last session, or, between these two sessions, because... Well, the other group that you guys are fighting are just called the Bootleggers. That's not their gang name, that's just what they do.
I get you.
We're very practical people.
They don't have names because they're not, sitting there, voting by holding up snake arms with fangs.
Well, I mean, now you know what you need to fix.
Anyway, so you guys had been given his name. What would you guys like to do?
Where are we right now? Are we, meeting back at the Mystical Grove?
I mean, you guys are still at the Mystical Grove. We ended for dramatic emphasis. You can still be at the Mystical Grove. That's not an issue.
Well, I guess we should, if we can find dear Mr. Rosette's residence, we should probably head there.
Yeah, so full disclosure, I worked for him a week ago, and then I quit because he was weird.
Oh, really?
So I kind of know him-ish.
Well, then tell us about it. What was he hiring you for?
Well, he had me find the rock that turned Runa into, a corporeal person. And after that, he wanted me to steal something else, and I was like, well, is there a why for why we're stealing these things? And he was just like, oh, I like theft. Something about,
right.
His family was killed by rifts, but he's a rift, so, anyways, I was like, well, no, I don't really just steal stuff because you feel like it. It has to be for a moral reason. And we just kind of parted ways after that. So, I don't know.
Maybe he was trying to recruit you to the Tree Gang.
That's the impression I'm getting. Yeah, in retrospect, I would agree with you. Yeah, it seems like he was trying to get me to, join the club. And I just didn't end up going for it, which is good, There was a worse way for this to go.
So what you're saying is it might not be an entirely warm reception.
I don't think it's gonna necessarily be a bad reception. We didn't part on necessarily bad terms. I didn't attack him or anything. I just didn't want to work for him, so I think we're okay.
Well, I guess, do we want to talk to him face to face to begin with, or do we want to do maybe a little reconnaissance first?
I guess I don't know what...
Find out what we're up against?
I mean, I kind of know what we're up against. Hang on, I have an out-of-character question for Zach. Zach, did I find out that he's, basically invincible? Is that what he is?
He said he can take a hit.
Okay, so I think he's just, generically unkillable is kind of his jam. So, I don't think we're going to be able to punch the problem away, but we might be able to talk it away, or at least into agreement. I don't know if he knows quite how relevant it is that the Order is existing in the same place as him, and that he can't just, have free reign of the city. But he's who we need to make that clear to.
Well, doesn't he already have a beef with the Order?
I don't know if he has a beef specifically, or if it's more that he just thinks that we're not doing a good enough job, which, fine, he can think that, but I don't know if he realizes that we're, kind of established here already.
I mean, I suppose that's something we could always ask him.
Yeah.
Turf warfare. Didn't think you were going to get into that, did ya?
But I guess I don't know if... It's weird for me to say. I don't know what I would be looking for if I broke into his house. You know what I mean?
I guess it would be helpful to if we could find out maybe what his goals are beforehand, or what his powers are, what he has at his disposal, if he's got magical artifacts.
That's true.
He's been stealing things, so
yeah, we could take a look around and see what we see. We have his address, right, Zach?
You can find his address, yeah.
Okay, I go to the phone book and find his address.
His address is very clearly listed in the phone book.
Woo!
It's in the old part of town.
I think he's bad at this, by the way. The whole subterfuge thing seems to be, like, lost on him if he's still listed in the phone book. But okay, you know.
Or that means he's confident.
Yeah, that's
untouchable.
True. That's true, yeah. We'll see which one it is, I guess. What time of day is it?
It's evening.
Okay.
Or he just thinks the police and everyone else in the city is incompetent.
Oh, I just realized something. You know what I could do? I could call him back and say that I've had a change of heart and that I'll work for him. That way we know he's not at his office. Or his house.
Oh, and have him arrange to meet you somewhere? And then stand him up?
Like just anywhere. And no, I'll meet him.
Oh, okay.
Or not. Oh, actually, yeah, I guess we could totally just stand him up. That's a really good plan. Yeah, I'll just say to meet me at a bar like way across the city. And then we can go to his house and he won't be there.
Faye's done this to many men.
That's a good way to establish a relationship with him, huh?
Well, no, that's a fair point. Maybe I should meet him. I'm fine with meeting him.
If you want to talk to him and find out more information that way.
Yeah, why not? Can't see a downside to it. He's like really like a million years old, so I think it'll be fine. We can meet someplace public, so I don't think he can just like murder me, you know?
That's probably a good idea.
I just want to be clear, we're defaulting to B&E again.
Well, I mean, do we have to break in right away? We can survey the house first. And maybe Tanner gets invited back to the house. I don't know. We don't have to just immediately B&E, but I feel like it's always on the table.
I mean, I'm fine with it. This guy sucks. We gave him opportunities to talk. His people were mean.
Tanner, do you want to meet him not too far away so that when we're done we can...
No, I would assume super far away to give you a larger window.
I just
so that way he can't...
If we want to meet up afterward, or if there's an emergency...
Oh, well, if it's an emergency, yeah, I think you're out of luck.
All right.
I mean, the group of three is the one that I would not consider out of luck, but okay.
No, going both ways. I think it's...
Yeah, no, just with how Cody was saying it, like, well, if there's an emergency, you guys are screwed. Like, Cody? No, I like your confidence. So, you gonna call him up then? Was this your plan?
Yes.
Alright, hello?
Hi, Herman, how's it going? It's Tanner. Well, you know, the rent's come due and I need more money, so... I was wondering if we could meet and talk and you could maybe try to give me the pitch again on why I should be stealing things. Maybe I didn't give you quite enough, maybe I didn't give you enough of a chance to explain yourself.
I mean, yes, I could do that. If you need help, Tanner, I could loan you some money. No, I don't really need that so much as I need a job. You know, it's like, that's a temporary fix. I need a fishing rod, not a fish kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say here. I do. I appreciate your gumption. That's what first led me to you. Well, that and the ad that said Monster Hunter, you know, there aren't a lot of those people around, so I figure... Well, there are a lot of them, right. That's why we need more Monster Hunters, but... Where would be a good place to meet you? I could meet you at your office again if you'd like, or...
No, let's not meet there, because I think probably I don't really... Yeah, I shouldn't be there right now. Anyways, I'm in the process of relocating to a cardboard box, so let's meet at... And then I give him, like, a diner across town that is 24 hours and populated.
All right. Oh, okay, I'll see you there shortly.
Alright, well, you have a great evening. You know, don't get mugged on the way there or anything. Bye!
Alright, you guys head off in your different directions. Is there anything you'd like to do to prepare beforehand?
Yeah, I want to grab Runa.
Alright.
Literally just like under one arm, Runa. Here we go.
Football.
Woo!
I was thinking that football carry.
Anything else you guys would like to do?
I don't think so.
All right. You guys head off to your different locations. Tanner heads to a 24-hour diner where Runa gets a hard-boiled egg as you guys wait for Herman to show up. Faye, Darling, and Seamus. You guys pull up in the old residential side of town to a ranch-style house. This is Herman's address. All the lights are off. There's no car in the driveway. Everything looks fine. Looks normal, like a suburban house.
I think Faye wants to do an investigation check to see if it looks like anybody else has been around or if he lives with anybody else or
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Make me a roll.
I want to also do an investigation roll, and I want to see if this house has any like protection on it. And I'm gonna use reflection to see like kind of the same way I used it in I think it was reflection. I don't think it was mirror, whichever one I used. The same way I used it in the forest to see if I could like kind of like bounce magic off.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I am using intelligent, if that's all right.
Yes.
And I got a 12.
And I think I want to help Darling by using Rift Radar to like help point out things that might be relevant.
Okay.
Is that just new to my normal how I would do it?
Do you have help points for her?
I do.
So you could just give her a +1.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Cool, that's a 13.
Okay, didn't need it, but whatever.
Cool. We'll start with the easy one. You do not notice any rift magic protecting the house.
Cool.
Without going further in, like...
But there's not like a ward.
There's not like a wall or
yeah.
ward or something. You guys can go up to the door. It is a very normal-looking house.
Okay.
I'm not saying you do go up to the door. You just could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna trip if we walk towards
Yeah.
it.
Correct. Faye, you see that there are... From what you can tell, there's like footprints around, but it is like a nicer house. It is a little bit harder to tell things. It doesn't look like anyone is inside. From what you can tell, from the outside, it's hard to tell if how many people live in a house, but it's a smaller ranch, so it does not look like a family home. It looks like only a few people would live here, kind of thing. It looks like what you'd call like a starter home, kind of thing.
Okay.
You do notice in the backyard that there is room for dogs. There's a nice "Beware of Dog" sign.
Okay. Is there a dog?
Not in the backyard.
Okay.
It's just hard to get a feel for
Yeah,
like how many
yeah.
people live in a house by looking at the outside.
No, I was looking for more things like his and hers stuff or like family sort of things.
There's
There-
toys on the lawn.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to
or,
be
like,
any stuff really around.
like a wind, like a wall hanging or wind chime that's like got all the grandkids on it. You know what I mean?
I'll make since you rolled so well, I'll say it's kind of the thing where it's like odd how little there is. It looks like this is
It looks like unlived in, sort of.
yeah, it doesn't look like this
Like
is
an apartment.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a place that he spends a lot of time necessarily or
Okay.
enjoys being at.
Okay.
It's almost like utilitarian.
It's not cozy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, there's it's not just like there's little personal charms, it's like there's nothing.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily want to break in if I don't have to, but maybe I could shapeshift into a bird and go through the chimney.
I was going to say, if you say windows, it's winter. It is winter.
That's actually what I was going to suggest first. I think, I hate to keep sending you in on reconnaissance, but I think that's probably the best way to get information before we all just kick in the door.
Right. It looks like there's a dog around here, so I might have to beat a quick escape. I also don't know if we want to embark on something if there's a angry dog inside protecting the house, but I'll see what I can see. Is that like a workable plan, Zach?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a thing I could roll?
Yep, make a sneak around.
Shape-shifting and raven shape, I guess?
Yep. We'd like to use rich.
That's an 8.
All right. Consequences have been noted.
I bet they have.
You are able to fly down the chimney. Easy enough. And end up in a living room. It looks like a simple living room. Nothing super fancy about it. You do not see a dog.
Okay. I assume still no personal touches or anything.
It's more than outside, but it's not lavish. It looks kind of barren, honestly. It looks very unused, this part of the house.
Okay. I'm gonna keep looking around for a kennel or dog or something.
Alrighty.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
As a bird?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do that.
Do I have to do another roll for that?
No, I don't think so. You can find a kennel with a dog in it easy enough. It's a big-looking dog.
But he's locked up?
No.
Okay.
It's like the door's open, but he's
Yeah.
in his crate.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you're flying around, can you look for, even if it, well, I guess just anything that might be magical, like any kind of like thing on a pedestal or a pile of
Like weapons.
magical objects.
Yeah. Yeah, I can look for that.
That I will need a roll for.
Okay. Should I add my shape-shifting?
You can add a raven shape, I think, because we said, like, you have good eyesight.
Good eyesight. I like shiny things.
I like how you
That's a
shapeshift
7.
into being like a bird. You could keep your full capacity, but you like shiny things all of a sudden when you're a bird. What'd you get?
A 7.
Cool. What would you like to ask? Also, like, how are you determining if they're magical?
Based on smell, I would assume.
I guess I'm looking for any like weird looking weapon or
Well, and probably
odd
because
object.
it's so.
Yeah, it's
I was
so
gonna say
bare.
because it's so bare in the house, any random object that would stand out, I would think. You know, he doesn't have like a pencil that's magical.
In this empty house, if there's a giant glowing broadsword, that's what they're looking for.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, I figured that one. I didn't know if they're like...
There's an axe somewhere. I'm assuming it's magical.
You do not find anything like that upstairs.
Is there a basement?
There is, but it is locked
Okay.
and closed. Like there's like a padlock on the basement door.
It's locked,
Okay.
standing wide open.
I'm trying to think of how to deal with the dog. Because my plan is like shapeshift back into Faye, open the door for you guys. But
Well, there's a dog.
well, I don't think I can close the kennel as a bird.
What are the moves in this game? I don't remember.
Is this a
You could
face the
try.
danger?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pulling
with
up
all
the-
you've got, shut the crate.
Face the danger would be for when the dog bites you and you die because you're a bird.
Right. Yeah, I guess, I mean, the alternative is I could just shapeshift back into Faye and close it really fast.
Good luck.
Which probably would be a face the danger.
Let's see what we got. And now this is a take the risk. This is 1,000% take the
Take
risk.
the risk. Okay. What does that entail?
You perform a daring, risky, or outright stupid feat. Roll plus power. On a 10 plus, you do it somehow. On a 9 to 7, things get messy. Your MC will offer you a hard bargain or an ugly choice.
This is the one where you might have to like burn tags or even themes.
No, that's stop holding back.
Oh, never mind. I mixed those up.
Okay.
No, take the risk is when you're being dumb
Okay.
or risky. I just like calling it being dumb.
I mean, is that fine with you guys? Do you want me to try
I
to
mean,
close the
you're,
crate
you're
and
in
let
there
you
by
in?
yourself.
I think so. I mean,
You can try to like bird claw open the door.
I think that's the best way to get us in without like breaking in.
Yeah.
I guess worst case scenario, if the dog goes nuts, I can try to use some of my powers on it.
There you go.
But
Okay.
So what are you doing and what tags are you applying?
So I'm changing back into Faye and shutting the door really fast. That's like the whole plan. I'm gonna do shapeshift limbs out of harm's way and won't take no for an answer.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Okay. That's an 8.
Cool, I have to come up with a hard choice now.
I have to come up with a hard answer. I can get bitten.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
My arm's already been hurt one time.
How are you doing in this campaign currently? I don't even remember how hurt you are.
I think this one I'm fine.
Fine.
No, that's...
Well, okay.
I have a level 2 physical tag. I don't know from what, though.
From earlier.
Okay.
You guys have gotten in several scrapes.
Okay.
Alright, so you have the option. You can either have this hurt you and it will give you a level 3 tag.
Okay.
Or you can have no tags happen, but you will get knocked back into the light switch and turn on the lights in the house.
Those seem suspiciously unequal. I think I'll take the hit.
Okay.
Just because it
seems awfully suspicious.
Right.
So, Faye, you drop out of your bird form right back into your human, and you are ready to lock this cage immediately. However, as soon as you start to change, you notice the dog get up and leap at you.
Okay.
And you're able to push, it dives at you, and you're able to put your weight down and throw or push the dog back into the cage and close it. But it does bite your arm pretty viciously, and you are pretty bloodied.
Okay.
As you shove the dog back in the kennel and lock it up.
Okay.
As you do this, the dog is still banging at the sides of the crate, trying to get out.
Okay.
Meaning this might not be a permanent solution.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna run to the front door and unlock it and let Darling and Seamus in. Well, the dog is unhappy that we're here, my arm is bitten, and I don't know how long that cage will hold them.
And
But there's a basement to investigate.
as we do that, we will cut over to Tanner and Runa as they await Herman. So what's the plan?
Well, I'm gonna ask him questions and you're gonna tell me if he's lying, I guess.
Cool. I'm just like a lie detector test now?
I think, unless there's more to it than that. My understanding of your abilities are you're a breathing lie detector. That's my understanding.
Would you like me to draw scribbles and I can start scribbling harder when he's lying?
No, I think you can be pretty upfront about it. If he's lying, you can just say, Tanner, that was a lie. It'll be fine.
I like the scribbles.
Okay, so you guys wait there a little bit, and Herman comes in. Oh, Detective Tanner, you picked somewhere quite far away. I'm sorry I'm a little late.
Oh, no, that's alright. It's just this is one of my favorite places for the coffee, and Runa here likes the hard-boiled eggs.
They're really good. So, you seem to have had a change of heart? Well, at least a change of wallet. That was a joke.
Well,
I'm sorry, it might not be the right time. My financial difficulties are no joke. I'm sorry, Detective Tanner.
No, it's fine. I mean, there's multitudinous reasons here. Financial difficulties just being one of them. I think the other one is I feel like I've been running into, crews that seem to be running under your authority. Is that the case? Do you have a bunch of people conduct a highly violent shootout in the middle of a crowded area? Is that a thing that you just did unilaterally?
Well, I was not intending for them to attack people in a highly crowded area, but yes, I am trying to take care of problems in this city.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? Okay, so I talked to your guys. They, I think, hate me, which, fine. It's understandable. But here's the problem, right? Is they can't do that or they're going to get magic arrested. Now, what I'm not saying is they can't do nothing. They just can't do that. Alright? It's all about not what you're doing, but how you're doing that thing. Does that make sense?
You guys seem to make quite a mess of the Historical Society, and
Well, no, I didn't. Your people did. But if you want to try to point fingers, that's fine. We're splitting hairs. My point is, if bodies start piling up, people with better organization, and probably more of them, are gonna start noticing. People like me are gonna start noticing and wanting to get involved, which I don't think you want. You want to do your, white knighting around the city? Go nuts. Do it discreetly. Don't let your people get in bar fights with humans. Don't instigate shootouts while there's people around. Alright? Basic stuff, man. The basics, right?
I understand what you're saying, Detective Tanner, but people try to do things discreetly all the time in this town, and have you guys stopped all of the bootlegging? Have you guys stopped the shootouts?
No, but we haven't started that many.
To me...
The number of civilians that have been caught in the crossfire for us, much lower already. And I'm not particularly good at discretion. I'm really bad at it.
I don't care if it's lower. It killed my family, a shootout your organization had with the bootleggers.
Wait, what? No, that's backstory I didn't have before.
Well, maybe you should be a detective and investigate sometime. My family died in a shootout between magic people who were with the Order trying to stop bootleggers.
Oh, okay, so then you understand what I'm saying is, true and has to be observed, otherwise you are just as bad and literally doing the same thing and no different. Right? You get that?
I'm saying if you hadn't gotten...
I watched a car nearly crash into a pedestrian, and if I hadn't been there, it would have. That's the same thing that you're talking about.
Also, if you hadn't have interrupted, nothing would have happened to the Naptown Historical Society.
That's okay, but yeah? Okay, yeah, but no one was hurt in the Naptown
Except for
Historical Society.
My people. Is that okay?
Yes, it is, yes. When you break a law and instigate violence, you're gonna get slapped in the hand. And also, I didn't kill your people. You know who did? Bootleggers! Because this thing is stupid! You can't just start shooting at random, alright? This is what's gonna happen.
I am not afraid of the bootleggers, Detective Tanner.
That's fine, I'm not either, but you can't have your people wingedly attack cars in broad daylight. It feels like you're not understanding this. Alright, let me try to take it back a step. Your people have wings and can run into cars like linebackers. You understand this, right?
I'm not an idiot, Detective Tanner.
Great! Do that when the cars are not moving. And maybe, not where there's streetlights. Just a solid piece of advice. Otherwise, there will be witch hunts. And I will be one of the people doing the witch hunting. Alright? You gotta not do that.
I don't feel... I understand what you're saying, Detective Tanner, but I don't feel like you're in a position to threaten me. I'm not worried about you, and I hoped you had actually reconsidered, but...
Oh no, that was fully a lie. By the way, Runa, has all this stuff been true?
He has been very honest.
Great, okay, cool. Cool, good. I've lied a bunch. Full disclosure. Lied a bunch to you. I'm okay with that, morally compass speaking, but anyway.
And that is okay.
Okay, because I just want you to understand... The next step here is the Order has to get involved and stop you because you're literally magic crime that is putting normal people at danger, which seems to be the very thing you are hell-bent on stopping. Or, there's this version here where you tone it back a little bit, I don't have to ever talk to you again, and you can do whatever you want, as long as there aren't cars crashing into streets, and your people don't end up in our cells threatening to kill me. That's all that needs to happen. Alright? It's really simple. It's like a plan. I have a plan for you. Because you don't want to fight us, right? That's not the goal. You want to fight bootleggers?
No, I want to take apart the Order too. Don't get me...
Okay, well that's not going to be helpful now, is it? That's not... You understand how that can't work?
No, I understand how it can't work, and I was hoping that you would join me, Tanner. You seem like...
No.
Yeah, I'm seeing
I'm
that.
not gonna do that.
I thought getting rid of your pesky moral compass would have helped, but you seem to still have her follow you around, so I did what I could to try to free you of her.
Oh, got it. That was why you had me take the rock. Got it. Okay, no, she's still very much here.
Yeah, I am, and I am here to help.
She's here to help.
Yeah, I heard.
Anyways.
She seems very, very annoying, but...
Gotcha. Tanner wants to grab his hand and look him dead in the eyes and just go, do you have anything with you right now that would reasonably be life-threatening to me? And I want to roll with hypnotizing eyes and truths that are hidden. And calm authority.
Okay.
That is a 13.
I am life-threatening to you. You look at Runa, like, glance at Runa, and she's just like, nods her head like he's telling the truth.
Just like quickly nods.
Okay, Tanner wants to keep in mind that he rolled a 13, squeezes his hand, and goes, specifically speaking.
Specifically speaking, I could take you in a fight. Also, I brought people with me because I figured this might be a trap.
Well, that's good to know, isn't it? Alright, well, have a nice day, I guess.
You too, Detective Tanner, and next time we meet, I hope you're ready to fight.
No, probably won't be, but that's cool. Is he just, like, getting out to get into his car?
If you're not going to stop him.
No, I'm not. Yet. Are there other people in his car?
There weren't when he pulled up, no.
No, I'll just let that go.
What do you mean? Like,
I was considering shooting out his tires and then trying to drive away, but if there's like 3 people like right outside just ready to jump me, that's a bad idea.
Okay.
Which he kind of said, and I was trying to learn if he had done that or not, so I learned that he did, which is fine.
Is there anything else you'd like to know?
So he can just leave.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Sorry. All right, so he leaves. You as you just sit there and drink the last of your coffee, you notice a few people that were in the diner get up and leave and like give you a glare.
Nice glares, guys. 10 out of 10 glares. Good glares. You're protecting an unkillable guy. I'm sure this is really high paycheck stuff. Good job. Bodyguard to a guy that can't die. Yep. Claps all around. Good job, guys. You nailed it.
All right. Back at his house. Faye, Darling, and Seamus. What are you about?
So I think Darling is going to go over to the dog and like try to calm it so that keeping it in the crate is a longer solution.
Make me a roll.
So I'm going to use distraction, close confidant, and if you'll let me control the will of others, but I'm okay with just the 2.
No, you can have control of the will of others. This is an other.
Okay. Right, it was questionable because it's a dog. All right, that's an 8.
The dog seems to be soothed for a bit, but you have more time, but you do notice it is not a lasting solution in the way that you have charmed other humans before. It's a little bit harder as the magic flows through you to use your magic in this way, since your magic is specifically meant for humans with who your mythos is. So it does work. It still is on a timer, just not as short of one.
Great.
Seamus, you do anything?
I'm starting to wonder if we're actually the good guys here. 'Cause it seems like we're always breaking into other people's places.
Seamus, we do not have time to think about that right now. Can you do some Rift Radar or whatever and try to see if there's any of that here that we need to be worried about?
He does that. He's going to try to use Rift Radar. And I think that's it.
All right.
That is a 9.
You do not see anything on this floor that looks dangerous.
To the basement?
To the basement. I don't exactly have a lot of strength to open this. I think this is also you, Seamus.
Oh, is it like one of those trapdoor things?
It's padlocked.
It's padlocked.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, am I just trying to... I don't want to just break it.
Then tell me how you're picking this lock.
Trying to see if I have anything that would let me pick a lock. I don't really think I have anything.
Have you considered asking the lock to open because it believes that it should open?
It's like a padlock with a key, right? Like not a number.
Yes.
You know, you punch in the numbers. Okay.
It's like a key padlock.
Okay, I have an idea.
You could just roll a straight
I have
roll.
an idea. I'm going to try to do knowledge of the past. I'm trying to see if Herman keeps the key somewhere around. Like, I want to see, like, try to see him unlocking this door and see where he puts the key.
Okay.
He hides it in the junk drawer.
Make me a roll.
Is an 8.
I'm sorry, you're not going to like the answer.
It's on
It's in
him.
his pocket. It's
Yeah.
on him.
That's honestly what I expected, even with a good roll like that. I just figured I had to try.
It was a really good idea. It was one of those things where Cody tells me, like, this isn't a bad idea, it's just the answer is unsatisfying.
I was
and
expecting it to be around the dog's neck.
That would have been a great failure.
Yeah, I fully expected him to have the key, but it's worth trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I try to bust this lock.
The dog's neck is such a better option.
Can he, like, would his rift radar be able to stretch to the basement so we wouldn't have to necessarily break in to find that out, or?
Like, if, no, because he rolled a mixed success.
Okay.
That's why you know this floor.
Okay. I was just, like, exhausting our options before we actually do that. Anyway, sorry, Vinny,
I mean, my other option is punch the lock.
Then do it.
Punch that lock. Punch it.
We're in the house already.
Punch the
Otherwise-
lock. Punch the lock.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna rip it
Or
off.
just
It'd be a
straight
straight
roll
roll,
and try to
so it'd
pick
be
it.
no better than either of you trying. So I guess I'll just do that. That's an 8.
All right. You punch that lock. It opens.
Well, okay, if I'm punching it, it's a 9.
Okay. Well, okay, that makes zero difference. You make
I know.
it.
He knows.
So you guys get through and head into the basement. In the basement, you guys do see more artifacts lying around. Not a gratuitous amount, just a few here and there. But you assume they are magical. They're swords and axes and the stuff that you presume was stolen from the Historical Society a few nights back.
Okay, so it looks like he's making an armory in his basement.
Armory is too grandiose of a term. It looks like he is storing a few items in his basement. There are also like some plans and some notes lying around, which you guys are able to parse through. Make me a roll, whoever wants to parse through those,
Okay.
to see to see how well you can find out the important bits.
Yeah, can I use intelligent?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm curious.
Driven?
I think the person who is best at reading through a lot of information and retaining it would probably be the lawyer.
Yeah. That's a 13.
Yeah, so you are very easily able to parse through a lot of things. You know what stuff is unimportant, what stuff is outdated, that kind of stuff. You're very easy, like, especially with your job, you are used to condensing a lot of information into a small amount of space for your
Yeah.
brothers, for his cases. So this is just like a day at the office for you. It does take a little bit of time while everyone else is looking around, but you are able to piece together why Herman's doing this, as Cody learned in the Tanner learned in the diner. His family was killed in a shootout. It is not, according to like the articles around, it is not conclusively the Order. Like, it
But
doesn't
it's
use
like, who else would it be, sort of thing.
right. Like, you can piece it together that it's the Order, but it's not like, it doesn't say like, and then some magic people,
Yeah.
Jane Doe, the magic user, came and killed the bootlegger.
Sure, yeah.
But like, you, with some descriptions and asking Darling, you're able to like figure out who these people seem to fit, and like,
Oh, so it's like current Order members.
Mm-hmm. yeah, this is not distant memory.
Okay.
It was more recent.
Okay.
You're able to see that he is trying to gather a group of, some 20, 30 odd riffs. Most of them seem to be very low powered, like what you've seen, like mostly like having wings or super strong, nothing super extraordinary.
Yeah.
There are a few people higher up in this organization.
Like Bill.
Like
or Will. Whatever his name was.
But there seem to be some people who have higher powers, and it seems like he is trying to gather a group to be in charge with him, and he looks like he's trying to take over the city. Seems so melodramatic and supervillainy, but take over the city.
Well, yeah, he's trying to get rid of bootlegging, which is a huge operation, and like mundane operation, sort of, and the Order, which is the biggest magical organization in the city. So
it looks like his...
So basically, in his words, the world's a mess and I just need to rule it.
And from what you can tell, it looks like his end goal is to remove/control all the rifts in the city under him.
Okay, so that he can be like the final word on what happens.
Yes.
He doesn't have to leave it up to somebody else's purview.
Yes.
Okay, so
and like it's not all like nefarious mwahaha.
No,
like,
it's just that like under his watch,
bad stuff wouldn't happen.
Be different, yeah.
Yep, it's exactly like if I was in charge, things would be better. Therefore, I have the power to be in charge. I will be in charge.
I should be in charge. Yeah, I gotcha.
I want to do a quick investigation, just kind of like a general one. Same on what I did on the outside of the house, and see if I can tell what any of the objects can do. Just kind of like run your hand over, not like touching them, because I don't want to touch them yet, but use reflection or mirror to kind of like bounce back the power to see if I can tell what it is.
Okay. Well, I'll allow it.
That is a 7.
So you're not able to get a very clear picture. This is a weird way to do scientific examination of like, I wonder if this egg cracks if I chuck it at the ground kind of thing. Like you're not being careful. It's not a very precise way. That's what I'm looking for. These items seem to be different degrees of very powerful. All of them seem to grant like heavy rift powers kind of thing. It's not just
knickknacks.
Yeah, it's not knickknacks. This is clearly not what Herman is using to make people into the people you saw before. You would guess these are what he's going to make to people he trusts as lieutenants, not as just low-level thugs.
Yeah. So these are very... I don't know specifically what they do, but they have some kind of very strong rift magic attached to them.
And that's like the common thread between all of them, is that
Yes.
they're like way powerful. Okay.
Yeah. They're more powerful than your standard artifact. Vinny's or Seamus's dog tags would be, like a little powerful. These are very powerful,
Yeah.
You got anything, Seamus?
I'm not sure what to do here.
You said there were weapons and plans. Was there anything else in the room, Zach?
That is all I have said.
Okay.
If there's something else that you'd like to know if it's there, you can ask me.
I can't think of anything. I think we're ready to book it, if you guys are.
All right.
So, my only question before we leave, do we want to grab any of these and run? Or is this just, because we've already broken the padlock. We're in the house. I don't know if we're going to be able to get down here again. Do we want to take any of these artifacts while we're running? Or all I can tell you is that these are very, very powerful. So, whatever he's going to do with them, I would assume it's going to be a big deal.
Right, it seems irresponsible knowing kind of his plan going forward to leave him with this kind of firepower.
Exactly. And especially, like I said, he's going to know we've been in here anyway.
Right.
Whether he figures that out when he first gets home or it takes him a minute.
And we might as well not let him use these against us.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward at least grabbing anything I can put in my pockets.
Oh, you do. I did forget to mention, you do notice that the harp that was stolen from the museum is there, but it is broken, and the strings seem to be wound up into a cord.
Okay.
We didn't break that, right?
No, you didn't break it. They did.
Okay.
It's called world building, Caitlin. You can take it with you. It's magical.
I think I would be looking at, like, getting a sheet to, like, wrap these swords in, sort of thing.
You can find that easy enough.
Okay. Because, yeah, like...
Yeah, Darling's gonna take whatever is easily, like, grabbable and throwing into pockets to start.
Yeah, there's a few...
So, like, if there's weird amulet necklaces or rings or whatever.
There's not a ton of items down here. There is the sword that was missing from the museum. Did they get the sword? I don't remember what all they took. It's been a month.
I was picturing there being at least a sword.
Yeah, there's like a sword there. There's an axe there. probably a hammer, some knickknacks, some amulets, but there's probably like a half a dozen to a dozen items total.
Okay.
So it's not like if you're stealing this, there's like the items tend to be bigger and there's more to it than that. Like, or there's not a ton more there than just the big items.
Okay. Yeah, are we able to clean the place out, so to speak?
Yep, you can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking care not to touch it in case that, like, transfers magic somehow. But I want Sylvia to take a look at this.
Cool. You guys are able to take all the items.
We're booking it.
Are you doing anything? Are you just leaving the door unlocked?
I mean, yeah, it's the house
I
door.
think
Yeah.
we'd probably... Oh, because we'd have to probably lock it from the inside.
And then get out a different way. I'm not going to
Yeah,
bother with that.
Cool. I was just asking. I mean, it's pretty obvious you've been here since you punched a lock off.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about the front door. I'm worrying about getting out of here.
Cool. You guys get out of there
Yeah.
and head back to the Mystic Grove. I hate myself every time. Hey Wanderers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Naptown Chronicles. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check out the Wandering Gamer Network website. We also post Let's Plays that we do on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network. On Twitch, we can be found at wandering_gamer_network, and you can follow us on Twitter at the WGN Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. The intro and outro music was composed by Caitlin Belgman, who voices Faye in this podcast. All other music is openly licensed or in the public domain. Now, sleeper, it is time to rest. And remember, it is the gods who envy us.